Everyone, Jacques here. On today's video, I want to talk about prayers and meditation. Doesn't matter like which religion you are, in, or if you are not in any religion, and that you believe that there is a bigger force, who rules the world. For example, it can be like some people call it source, some people call it God. Sometimes on the spiritual world, God is love, basically. So it doesn't matter like what are you believing in, but you still need to know that there is something bigger than us who rules the world. Because if not, like how does the world come? You know what I mean? But anyway, the fact that you pray and you meditate will help you a lot within your journey. Because I can tell you, like, for me, when I wasn't, like, serious, for example, me, I'm a Muslim. So I'm a Muslim and, I pray, like, every day, And I've been very, like, consistent since a little bit more than 2 years, And I can tell you that I had, like, a shift, within my life. I had, like, an before and an after, clearly. And it helped me a lot, to overcome things and to discover like more interesting like way of being, in order to get where you want to be, you know what I mean? And the things that I love about religion, it doesn't matter like which religion you are in, but all religions they will like help you to get better, to do better things, to become a better man, a better woman. And when you follow this, you cannot like do wrong things. And again, like, related to my other video, you will have like good karma and bad karma. Basically, like karma, it's mean like action. The good actions that you do or the bad actions that you do as well, Everything will come back around by tenfold, you know. So you really need to be careful about what you are doing and try to become like the best version of yourself. Because if you do, then your life will change all around without you like doing so much, and you will understand like why you were struggling on so many things. But in order to explain it with further details, I will just go like through what I have seen, without doing that, and then how things change like when I started to do that. I say prayers, but you have meditation as well. Both of this one, are very important, I think. But on priority, I will say prayer definitely. So without praying or meditating, first of all, like I had a lack of clarity. So I didn't know like what I really wanted, and I cannot make a proper decisions about things that I want, things that I desire. Where do I want to go? Like what should I do? What would I want like within a relationship? And the fact that I were in lack of clarity, I was with someone who wasn't like what I was looking for. But I didn't had the clarity to know that this is not the one, you know what I mean? And same thing for work. I didn't know like if this was my path, if I was like going into the right direction. So basically like I have done a lot of business, you know what I mean? Typically, I tried a lot, failed a lot. But for example, I learned about digital marketing. I made some money, but nothing crazy because I was not passionate about it. As well as I help like men, to start dating. I've helped people, with their confidences also. Yeah, I have done a lot of things, or tried to do a lot of things. I started e-commerce, everything like since like 2018. But then I understood that, some things are not for me. But in order to understand that, I needed like to get out of that. Then, you have, I had some darkness, without. So which means that you don't have the clean like way of thinking, You don't want the best for yourself, and you will do things that you wouldn't, do, which is related like to by choice, I mean. For example, for me, like I was seeing someone, who were already on relationship, which is something like not good at all. But I was doing that, which is not good. It's a bad choice. When deep down you are doing something that is not right, but you're still doing it, But I'm glad that, one day, like one of my friends, she told me, and I was listening to her, and she told me, like, no, what you are doing, like, it's not you, you shouldn't do that, etc. She roasted me, and with 100% reason. And then she told me, yeah, you need to get back, to prayers, in order to get the right things. And then since this day, that I started praying like consistently because I was praying on the past, but just only when we have Ramadan, we say that it's when we fast. Yeah. But then, it was hard for me like to pray every day. But since then, this is where like a full shift for me. And then you have no self control. Also because you have nothing to turn on. You have nothing to be good about. You know what I mean? To You have nothing that pushes you to get better, basically. So then what you will do is you will have no control. So then you will look at things that you shouldn't, like I talk about a lot of my channel. You will judge people, you will have bad thought as well. You will, do basically like things that you shouldn't because you don't have any control. And it's related to both, praying and meditating. But basically for me, and this is the thing, like I was thinking that I was in a good position, because I had work, I was paid like anywhere around like 2,500 to 3,000, a month, which is good, in France, like it's good, but still in my work, like even if I was a manager, for like a luxury brands, in the airport, like duty free, um, but still, it wasn't like what I wanted. Um, so I knew that, I was doing things good there, but I knew that it shouldn't like be like something that I should do, for my life. Because I know that I'm someone that always believes that I'm here for something, more, for something special. Not to be here like to manage like people, to sell basically perfume, and clothes and do that for 40 years, impossible for me. So then I started, shifted of things, I quit my job. And then I started, again to be into like the entrepreneur like journey, and to start all over again. So yeah, this is like how without doing like prayers and meditation, this is how it was looking like. First of all, like clarity. Because when you pray, the thing is, and I know like there is like some special ways, on some religions to do things. But first of all, like it's to ask for forgiveness. Because I want clarity, but before that, forgiveness, because we all have like you will like collect some sins, and the only one that can forgive is God. So it's important like to ask forgiveness, for things that you have done which were wrong. For example, for us, you can do the Ramadan in order to ask, for forgiveness. Like if you do like the full 30 days, then God will remove all the sins that you have done, for the past year, which is really important, for your sins. So it doesn't matter like which religion you are, you should like, ask forgiveness for everything that you do, even if you judge someone, into a street, like you should, because by judging someone, you will collect bad karma. And when you collect like bad karma, your manifestation, if you want to manifest something with the law of attraction, it won't work because you have all these things to yeah go through or to get forbidden for. In order to collect your good karma, you need to go through your bad karma. And your bad karma can be explained like on a lot of things. For example, you can have a flat tire out of nowhere. I don't know, like your sink maybe have a problem, your car broke down. Uh, these are very things that you generated by yourself on reality, but people are not really aware. But anyway, so first of all, it's to ask for forgiveness and then ask for clarity. Like ask God or the universe or source. It doesn't matter like what you're believing again, but ask for having like a way you can, go and find your soul purpose, basically. Because we are all here for a reason. For me, like I think my vision is to do that, to share my story in order to help you guys to get through things, which I will never like find it like 8 or 7 years ago. And then you will have clarity into what you can do, and meditation will help you as well have clarity because it will declutter your mind. Because the thing is, um we spend like no time alone with ourselves in order to know what we want. We are always like hang out, on phone, and then talking with people, something, watching a movie, what you hang out with for example, if you have a dog, even when you are walking, take a walk for your dog, you are still not focusing on yourself. You will still like care about your dog, etc. But you have no time, within you. And this is why when you are taking a shower, you will have like a lot of idea. Why? Because this is the only time of the day where you are truly yourself with yourself and that you can think properly. Even if still you are making an activity, but this is why idea come from the shower. And in order to have them right, you need to meditate because it will be just to close your eyes to sit, and then you will be with your own mind, and then you will have access to your clarity because within a day we have like 70,000 thoughts in the mind within the mind, and 95% of them are negative. So you will have the conscious of spotting when it's negative, remove them, and then really understand like what do you really want. So clarity is the first one. So then I will start to have some belief. And when I mean belief, it's things that are really good. You will shift like your perception and you will start to believe like that things are possible, when you pray and you meditate. Because I can tell you like when you do that, you will see like a shift directly. Well, at least it was the case for me. But when you do that, you will understand that life is for me, life is beautiful. For me, like it's beautiful. I won't tell you that like 1 year ago, but I can tell you, like, life is beautiful because when you are mastering yourself, then you can master life. Because I really believe that you are the creator of your own life. You can create whatever you want, and you just need to work for it, obviously, for sure. But you can create like what you want, and you are your own captain through your life, and you can like handle your life like you want, and it will require you to make some hard choice, to do some hard things, 100%. But you can manifest whatever you want. Like as long as you have the beliefs, as long as you are with God, and not without God. Or again, like when I say God, like I really mean the higher, power. I mean, if you are not, but still, when it's easier to have the life that you want when you are, good within yourself, good with, the higher powers, and when you are very clean within your mind, because now we can understand what you want and you can see who are the people with who you want to spend your life with. Because most of the time, I can tell you, like, the people that you believe that they are good for you are really not in one point. So you will have this clarity and understanding about that. Then So you will have your manifestation. So with the law of attraction, when you want something, you need to state what you really want and act like you already have it. And the fact that you will pray and meditate, it will help you to understand that you can do like what you want with, your world, and you will get more into like your mind. You will get less, sorry, you will get less within your mind and you will get more within your heart. So you will be able to manifest things. Even if you don't have them in the tangible world, like in the 3D world, you can still like not feel the lack of what you are looking for. You will be able to really like believe that everything is within your reach and you can have whatever you want, which is really key, like in order to manifest. Because people just tell you like for law of attraction, the only way to manifest is you need to say something, up you wait, and it's coming, And this can be true, but on reality, like it's a lot more complicated than that, You really need to be in a good state. You really need to have the good emotion, within you. Understand like what is blocking you, because like on the spiritual world, things can block you as well, or the people, or maybe even objects, within your house. You have so many things that can prevent you to get what you want, that in order to get them, you will need to deal with everything before. So yeah, you need to be careful about that. And lastly, so you will have good emotions, which means that you will really like operate like from a state of love, and you won't like feel hungry, you won't like feel like sad, extra, It can come, but before that you make the choice of getting on this state, you can choose to not be within this state. For example, for me, on the past, when I had like ego, because like I can tell you, like I had like an ego death with this everything, because ego, like it's the enemy, to be honest. But for example, if I know something is right, and then I will talk with a friend, and for him it was another thing, then I will spend like 10 15 minutes or 20 minutes in order to get right, which is totally wrong. Because, first of all, you are wasting your energy into something which is not good. Second of all, it can be like a question of perception. Maybe on your world it's this way, but maybe on their world, like the way that they think is better. And then, last of all, the thing that I learned in the book of Dale Carnegie, it says like either if you are right or wrong, on both cases you are wrong. Why? Because if you are wrong, you are wrong, and if you are right, then you made the other people feel uh, dumb, and you know that they worth nothing. So you have nothing to win, in an argument. And since I learned that, I don't try to debate, with people. It doesn't matter. Who cares, you know what I mean? So if something come up, I think one way and they think another way, I just say okay, you know, and you don't need to waste your energy within things that doesn't serve. And you need to be careful as well, like with who are your friends, because again, like if there are some people, because there is some people they love to be in conflict. It's how they live. It's they don't want to argue on things, and they want to argue because it gives them like some dopamine spike. And when people are like that, you can understand that they are on the without mode that I used to be, before. But someone who is praying, meditating, and doing things, I can tell you they won't be angry because they have self-control and they know what are the things that are important the most. The most important thing for you is your peace. Because if you're not in peace, you won't give peace to anyone around you because you will affect other people with your angriness. You know, with your state. Like it's not a good thing to act, in a certain way. Like sometimes you really need to have an objective like look on yourself and then make the right choice, for yourself to evolve. Because if you do that, I can tell you like your life will change. It can take times, it can take months, it can take years, for example. But you will succeed at the end, Is it better to take like some time or to take like one or two step back, but in order to get further, like I don't know how you call that in English, but it's like when you pull like I don't know, like a gun, and then you launch it, but it will go far away. It will be the same thing. And it's what I have done, I pull back and then, I launch and I know like things, are better and will become even better, like even better over time. So yeah, basically like just a thing like think about like praying and meditating because these are like life changers that can change your life, and you don't need to be in a religion. You just need to know that God is here. If it's on the spiritual world, like it's all about like love. For example, which for me it's a good way to see it also because God is just the purest like form of love, and everything around like fear, etc., is not what God represents. This is our own ego will try to stop things. For example, my ego like tried to stop me like to do YouTube videos, do things, etc. It's everything it's within my mind. But in my heart, what I wanted to do, it was to do that, to help people, etc. And I cannot like let my ego, my mind, control me when maybe like with my web, I'm helping, people to change their lives that don't have the formula to do things, and I know like with just one video, I can change the direction of someone's life. So I need to put my ego aside and do the thing and to show up. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. It will help me a lot to get my message like in front of more people. And thank you for showing up, guys. And I love you, and I see you on the next one. Bye.